Hi, I'm Krista.
And I'm Sarah.
And we have this podcast called Have We Talked About? Where two friends at different points in their lives chat about everything in their lives.
From current events to pop culture, from self-care to self-indulgence, and everything in between.
Join us weekly to see what we talk about next. Hey girl.
Hey, what's up?
What's going on? Just living my best life.
Oh, yeah. What are we chatting about today, Krista?
I think we should talk about addictions. What do you think? Does that work?
Let's do it.
You want me to kind of start it off?
Yeah.
Happy to do so. So we can start with like shopping addiction. And we can start there because I used to actually have a shopping addiction.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so many questions come flooding to my head right now. Was it like an online shopping addiction or like an in-store?
No,
online?
never in store. Never in store. When I went, I was a very early adopter of online shopping, I feel like. So I've been online shopping, I want to say for like almost 10 years. Like once that was an option to me, I was like, what? Getting presents in the mail? Sign me up.
Coming directly to your house? Perfect.
Yeah. And I don't even know why I'm like saying this on the podcast because my family doesn't even know. I racked up significant credit card like debt, significant, because of how bad my addiction was.
And was it just like clothing?
Clothes and purses. That was my thing. Yeah. So it wasn't even like expensive trips or anything like that. It wasn't even expensive clothes. Like
it's just a lot.
Just a lot because I wanted always a new outfit. Always.
God. Like you pretty much didn't want to do laundry. So you're like, I'm just going to buy a new outfit.
Kinda. I mean, it didn't even, but I always wanted to look like I was wearing something new, and things just have a certain look when they're new, right? And then after one or two like wears, it doesn't. So I just like, I see something, I'm like, I love it. And then I was really into experimenting with like different colors and wearing bright colors at that point. Yeah, it took.
Did you ever look at the prices when you like bought, or you just didn't really care?
Yeah, I looked at the prices. I would say I always bought things that I thought would be like reasonably priced given like the quality of the material.
Yeah.
I was probably a little more lenient when it came to purses. Again, like that, I had like a really hardcore like Coach purse addiction during that time too.
Who didn't? Like, let's be honest. I did too.
I mean, Coach is a good purse, like, you know, Kate Spade and the like, but like the quality of my Coach purses has far outlasted any Kate Spade I've bought. And Kate Spade was my dream bag. Yeah. So I say that with like total admiration. But yeah, like I have a ton of Coach purses I've never even used that are in my closet right now.
Girl, you should sell them or something.
I should, but
get that coin. Okay, so when did you first take a step back and think, oh shoot, am I addicted to online shopping?
When I had to like change jobs because I wasn't happy in my job and I realized I had to like take a significant pay cut.
Oh.
And then I started to like, that was the first time that I was like having to like watch my bank account balance because like overdraft was a possibility and I hadn't seen that since my 20s. Like I always had money. I always had money in my account. And then to see that kind of just dwindle or go red, I was like, I have to bag my lunch for a really long time. And I can't go anywhere or do anything until I can recover.
So did you just go like cold turkey?
Yeah. I went cold turkey and then worked really hard at my job to get promoted so I can make more money. And now that shopping addiction is just translated to Amazon.
Got it. Okay, well,
at least things I buy on Amazon are like vitamins.
Yeah, you know what? I know. I love Amazon. Yeah. At least you knew you had a problem.
I don't know if I did.
Well, it came to a point where you're like, okay, shoot, my bank account is in the red. I need to stop this.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
Were you hiding you said you were hiding your like bank account. You didn't say anything about the money with your family, but were you hiding like the online shopping addiction from your family, or everyone kind of knew that that's what you did?
Well, I didn't live with them, right? So it wouldn't be something that they would pick up on.
Well, they pick on oh, is that a new outfit? Oh, is that a new outfit?
I didn't see him that often, so anything would be a new outfit. You know what I mean? He'd be like, once a quarter you saw me.
Gotcha. Well, I feel like probably a lot of people go through that in their life. They have a moment of shopping addiction, whether that's like in store or online or whatever. They just have a kind of a blimp in their life where they just spend too much money on whether it's shoes, whether it's purses, clothes, whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, I still like clothes and I still buy clothes, but it's just not. It's just not what it used to be. So, I will say that I do believe that people either have like a obsessive personality or an addictive personality. Mm-hmm. And I'm more an obsessive person. So, like, it's a bad example, but like people are addicted to smoking. I used to be a smoker. I don't ever think about cigarettes anymore or anything like that because it's like I like something and do something for a period of time. And then I wake up one day and I'm like, I'm not interested anymore. And I kind of feel like that's probably what happened with the shopping.
Gotcha. And I think I'll name one. And I think a lot of people can relate to this. Probably just I'm addicted to my phone. And I know that's a lame one and I get it, but I am. I literally am.
Because of the social media on the phone?
Yeah. And it's silly. And then sometimes I catch myself. It's like, well, what am I doing? I'm literally a zombie. Just my thumb is just scrolling away. What am I doing? Stop. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I would say like my phone is like I just consider an extension of me now. So even more so, right? Like, and my natural thing is I flip through my like same 3 apps depending on where I'm at, right? So at work, it's like my work email, if I'm like not by my laptop, my personal email, LinkedIn, Instagram, things that I can just do quick hits on. Yeah. Like I'm not going to open like YouTube and like watch a video at work, obviously. Yeah. But I try not to do that if I'm like out in public. Like I'll listen to like music if I'm walking to meet somebody. Yeah. But if I'm sitting waiting, I have made an effort to like not be on my phone, but to like look around and people watch.
Yeah, same. And I literally have to tell myself like, why are you getting at your phone right now? What are you doing? To do nothing because you're bored and you're waiting for something. That's not like you don't need to do anything.
Or you just don't want to look like a loser.
Valid. That true. that,
like nobody's looking, well. So you just look like the only one paying attention.
I know. So I'm definitely addicted to my phone. And I should stop, but I also feel like you said, it's an extension of me and I have everything on there. I have my camera that I'm always taking pictures of my kids. Yeah. I have my text messages and WhatsApp that I'm always sending pictures of my kids to people. I have social media. I have my bank account. I have real estate. Like I have so much on there.
Stored cards on there, like
totally
passwords.
Exactly. So I have so much on there. It's literally it should just like be my hand. Like my phone should just be my hand at some point. Like my phone is never that far away from me. Yeah, seriously. So I can definitely say that I'm addicted to my phone and it's a problem and I really need to stop sometimes, but it's a work in progress.
Yeah, totally. One thing that I've always do, and I mean, coming from where we worked, it was common for everybody, walk around with your phone all the time, right? Like your personal phone was your work phone. Where I work now, that's not the case. So I look very odd because when I walk to different meetings on my laptop, I also have my personal phone with me. And nobody else does that. I'm like, so you're just like leaving it at your desk? Like I'm never leaving my phone at my desk.
No.
In an open concept, open workspace environment.
No.
And I'm not even leaving it in my bag.
No.
So the amount of times I've left my phone in a meeting room and had to go bust open the door of that meeting being like, sorry guys.
I need to get my personal phone.
Yeah, my phone is in the chair. And one time I went in and the guy was like, oh, he didn't even move it from the chair. It was still beside him. I'm like, you couldn't even take it out and put it on the table? He's like, right here? Yeah, thanks for pulling it out of the crack of your ass, sir.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, no, I take it everywhere too. Yeah, like
Yeah.
especially when you're at work. If you like go to the kitchen, you're gonna take your phone just in case someone messages you on Slack or whatever, or they send you an email.
Totally.
You know, being available all the time. 100%. So my addiction is my phone.
I want to pull in a stat here to just make us feel better, I guess, or maybe not.
Okay.
Excessive technology use affects a significant portion of the population, with studies suggesting that around 6% of individuals meet the criteria for smartphone addiction. That's from the Pew Research Center. That number feels low.
That feels very low. I don't believe that at all. Do you see people walking around heads down looking at their phone when they're crossing a street? Like, come on, I don't believe that.
Well, I guess it's like, what's the criteria for an addiction?
Right. Yeah. But I also feel like nowadays,
Like 95% of people are attached to their phone.
absolutely. Absolutely. If I have a moment where I don't know where my phone is, I like kind of freak out. I'm like, someone
Yeah,
call my
same.
phone. Someone call my phone.
Call my phone, like, oh, I can't remember the last time my phone was on ring, though. So it's like damn near impossible to find your phone because it's on vibrate.
No, it's so true. So that is my addiction. What other, mild addictions do you have or have had?
I haven't had any other addictions. Well, I mean, I think I probably, one is kind of mild, but it speaks to a more serious one, is like working out. And then the flip side being like being overly concerned with like your weight and your caloric intake that, potentially points to like an eating disorder. I would definitely say that I think a lot of girls, it's underreported, in their teens or their 20s struggle with that.
Absolutely.
And we can talk about that a little bit like later or not at all. But gambling is an addiction that's not actually considered a severe addiction. I don't know if it's actually, I mean, I don't have any stats to like necessarily say that for sure, but I will say, based on like what I read, gambling isn't taken as seriously as like the more darker addictions like drugs or alcohol. And it's just as impactful.
Yeah. Yeah. No, like I get that, but you can lose all your money in a matter of moments.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
And especially now because they have like the online gambling and online betting to make it even easier for you to lose your money in the
Never have to
convenience
leave
of
your
your
home.
house. Exactly. And you even go to, if you go to casinos, you see the people and like, I bet you they haven't moved in like 5 hours. They're on the same machine. They probably lost God knows how much money. And in casinos, you don't know what time it is. It's so bright. It's loud. There are no windows. They pump in like, I don't know, fresh air. I don't know what they pump in. They pump in something.
They keep it cold in there. Like Vegas is definitely like that.
Exactly. So, yeah, I would say it's not a hardcore addiction. I get that, but you can still lose a lot from gambling.
Yeah. And I want to pull back with just like framing what we believe addictions to be, right? So like it's compulsive behavior, and a loss of control with like a range of, intensities in it, right? So addictions usually have to do with you wanting to have control of something, but then as a result of it, you become out of control because then the thing becomes the thing is what's controlling you.
Yeah.
And just so that you're not alone, Sarah, according to the World Health Organization, addiction affects approximately 20% of the global population. So we're not alone, but not in a room of 10 people, at least 2 people are suffering.
Yeah. Again, this is like a silly, mild one, I would say, but if Google didn't exist, I'm not sure what I would do. I Google everything, but I Google everything, the stupidest things, baby things, my things, house, like literally I Google everything. I love Google.
So I think that would roll into like technology addiction, right?
Yeah, totally. Absolutely.
Well, because what are you going to do? You're going to go to the library and get the information? How do you get it otherwise?
No, valid. And it's like so quick and so fast. It's like I have these symptoms. Well, what do I have? Am I dying in 3 days? Yep, got it. Perfect.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
like I want to know.
that's a downside of it. It's like I'm sneezing. Well, that could be lymphoma. You're like,
Exactly.
oh, not just allergies.
Exactly. But I Google in a day, I probably Google 30 things at least.
Oh yeah. I opened up my browser
Google.
and used Google today because I had to do something, and I'm like, I need to Google what this is that they're asking me.
100%. So yeah, I literally Google everything. Again, that's like a silly one, but I do it on a daily basis.
Yeah, we're all guilty. We could probably pull from Google the stats of like how often people like search things on a daily basis. It's probably like millions per minute of like search queries.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because back in the day, they had like Ask Jeeves, was it? Mm-hmm. And they had Yahoo, but then
Still
Google
have
just
Bing.
That's right. And Google just took over.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, once upon a time, the internet wasn't a thing.
Yeah, I know. And you had to go to the library.
Yeah. Like, you're a family lucky enough to have that Encyclopedia Britannica at home. Gotta go to the good old library, take out a book. Oh my God, I don't even know if my nephews know how to. What do you do? Oh, borrow. I was gonna say, do you rent a book from the library? I don't even remember how to do it. I don't have a library card. Do you have a library card?
Yeah, I have a library card.
No, because you have kids.
Yeah. Yeah, and they love it. And I don't have to pay $25 for one book. It's great.
Valid. What other addictions do you have on your list?
Again, these are like mild, silly ones. But I would say drinking water. And I know that sounds silly and dorky, but
No,
when I was a kid, I don't remember drinking water. I don't remember bringing a water bottle with me when I went places. But nowadays, I'm like, got my purse, got my phone. Where's my water? Like, it's like I need to have my water.
Okay, let me take a step back into your childhood, because I remember in one of the previous episodes you said that you had never like had pop or anything before. So as a kid, what did you drink if you didn't drink water? You drank juice?
Well, no, I drank water, but it's not like I went out for the day and was like, oh, I got to bring my bottle of water. It's like, oh, the straight.
You didn't need to, because the garden hose was there in the backyard.
Exactly. I'm like, whatever. But now I'm like, oh my God, where's my tumbler? Literally. Always. I'm always drinking water. I probably drink so much water. And, yes, I have a young kid. I'm breastfeeding. I was just pregnant. You have to drink so much water because of that. But even regardless of that, I always drink so much water. Like always at my desk at work, I had this like huge bottle of water and I would fill up multiple times a day. I am one hydrated person. And again, it's a silly one, but I think it's an important one. And I think people should drink more water. I love water, and I'm not sorry, Krista, but I'm not the person that like puts like flavored water into it. I am a plain like from the tap water. I know. I'm not a sparkling. Nope, I'm good. Not add different flavors. Nope, just plain old tap cold water.
Okay, well, so how many cups or liters do you think that you drink a day then to consider yourself like an addict?
Oh my gosh. At least 10 cups. At least.
Okay, that sounds moderate. I would say that that's just a fair share.
Maybe
but
10 of these, whatever 10 of these are, I'm literally showing her my tumbler on video.
Well, how big's your head? Because you're putting it up against your head for scale. I don't know. How many ounces is that?
I don't know. It's a lot.
12, 16 maybe?
Maybe. And I fill that up at least like 5 or 6 times a day.
So basically, if I don't know where to find you, you're in the bathroom. That's why I had to
Absolutely.
stop drinking water at work, because I'm like, I'm running from these meetings to meetings because I'm not remote anymore. I'm like, I can't afford to take what they call in corporate talk a bio break.
It's so true. But then I found that if I don't drink like the amount of water that I normally drink in a day, I get a headache.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like, okay, it's either I'm in the washroom peeing because I drank so much water, or I have a headache because I didn't drink enough water.
Yeah, I have a headache today because I didn't drink enough.
Boom.
Yeah. Well, I drink tea in the morning because I don't really necessarily eat per se, but I need something, and like hot water with a little flavor is always good. But it like dehydrates me so bad I should stop.
talking about tea, caffeine is another addiction. I don't know if I'm not addicted to it, but I know a lot of people that are addicted to caffeine. Are you addicted to caffeine?
No, I'm not addicted to caffeine, but I would say if you drink a coffee a day and feel very different if you don't, I would definitely consider that an addiction.
I drink a coffee a day and a tea a day. Absolutely.
Yeah, you're addicted. It doesn't seem that way, but you're totally addicted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have coffee in the morning, but I drink a tea every day when I'm working. Weekends, not as much. So I definitely, I made a point to get off of coffee
Yeah.
like a year or two ago. Because then you become, for me anyway, the addiction was I was relying on that to like wake me up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where I'm like, I can't function, I can't do anything until that caffeine like gives me that, revs me up.
Gives you that boost. And that's funny because I literally started drinking coffee maybe a year and a half ago.
When, because you need
Like
more energy for the baby.
Yeah, exactly. I just needed more energy. I couldn't wake up in the morning, so I just started to I always had a tea in the morning, but I'm like, I need more boost in the morning. So then I flipped to coffee, and I have my morning coffee every day and my afternoon tea every day, no matter what.
The thing is, the studies always flip back and forth between whether coffee is good or bad for you. From like a working out fitness perspective, black coffee is supposed to be like number one for like fat burning. So I never be like, oh, that's terrible for you. But at the same time, if like, I don't know, Nikki with an I comes from Starbucks with their Fruity Looty Chino Wino Frade Latte, I'm like, that's not a coffee.
Yeah.
That's some sugar with a little bit of coffee in it.
That's a lot of sugar with a little bit of coffee.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It is estimated that 90% of people worldwide consume caffeine in some form, making it one of the most widely used psychoactive substances.
Wow.
And that's from the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations.
Wow.
Accepted worldwide.
Yeah, love it.
Like, is that an addiction or is that just societal norm? I'm just waking up. I'm waking up in my hut in Uganda and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to make some coffee.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go hunt and gather. And then
I think again, this is my personal opinion, but if you're in high school, I don't think you need coffee. And I don't think people need 3-4 cups of coffee a day. If you need 3 or 4 cups of coffee a day and you're an adult, maybe you need more sleep.
But then what do you do about the people that are like doing their residency and they're working ridiculously long like shifts, or those that have to like drive trucks and stuff? I feel like that's like a necessity so they don't kill people.
I know, but like, what's that going to do to your body over time?
I don't know, but the trucks need to be driven and the people need to be saved.
Totally. But okay, for people that are not in that type of industry, like people that just work in a corporate, work environment.
Yeah. Well,
like
they
I
need
know it's people that we used to work with that would drink like 3 cups a day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm just like,
I'm trying to think of who those people are.
why?
Maybe it's habit.
I think it's habit and comfort and habit and just, it makes them feel good. I don't know if they need it, but...
I think a lot of people use it as a way to like take a break, like going to Starbucks.
Yeah, or going for a smoke or something.
Yeah, like that's the substitute. It's like, I'm gonna go get a coffee, but then you're taking a coffee at like 5 p.m. and you're wondering why you can't go to bed at night.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you have any other mild or like silly addictions?
I think like some people, like, I don't know if it's like an addiction or just like strong cravings for like sweets or junk food.
Yeah.
I would definitely say I have like, I definitely can have withdrawal if I make a point to say I'm gonna like limit the candy, or I'm not really a big chocolate person, but I know my body goes through withdrawal, because then if I stop doing it, then all of a sudden I'll get this overwhelming urge that I need like a donut or something random, and I'll get that craving, and I'm like, that's that withdrawal kicking in. I'm getting the shakes.
Yeah.
I need to do something about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like everyone has some sort of like some either like a sweet or salty or chocolatey. People are addicted to something. Yeah.
Do you have a sweet or a salty vice?
I love cookies.
Ooh, what kind?
Chocolate chip, chocolate. I just love them. I love them.
Any kind, like the hard ones, the soft ones.
I love like when like they're soft and then they just came out of like the bakery like oven and they're gooey and oh my gosh, get in my tummy. I'll just make cookies if I just feel like cookies. I love cookies so much. I'm the cookie monster. That's
I did not know that about you.
I do.
That's an addiction. That feels more strongly an addiction than water.
No, girl, you have no idea.
Like you have to have a cookie every day.
I do. I absolutely do. With my tea. In the afternoon.
There we go. The real story comes out. I'm addicted to water.
Girl, you have no idea. So much water. But yeah, I need a cookie in the afternoon with my tea. Literally. Am I a robot? Like, I need it.
I always buy a cookie when I like buy a salad because I'm like, I'll need something sweet after.
That's funny. That's funny.
Little treat.
Yeah.
The other thing I was thinking about in terms of like moderate addiction was exercise. Like having to get that workout in every day.
Yikes.
Rain or shine, sick or healthy.
Yikes.
Injury or no injury. Yeah, like I remember in my running days, like you feel like you should take a break, but you just push through like what you think is maybe a bit of like overuse injury or, you know, tight quads, tight hams. You're just like, no, I'm going to push through.
Yeah.
And then you permanently injure your body and then you can never run again.
Yeah, that's not good. I think this just came to my mind. Potentially, maybe people may have this addiction, a fast food addiction.
Yeah, definitely counts as like one of those like categories, like the junk food category where like sugar, sweets, and savory and salty all fall into it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I definitely ate a ton of junk food in my younger years. I don't eat it often now.
No.
It is something I'll crave if I'm like feeling unwell. If I had like the flu or something, that would, or yeah, like my go-to is like a hamburger and fries, which is very random. But I guess because you lose your sense of smell and like the hamburger is going to be pretty salty.
Yeah.
Drink's going to be pretty sweet.
Some silly ones from young Sarah. I was addicted to boy bands, which like who wasn't back in elementary school, high school days, you know, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
You knew all the songs, you knew everything. You had the CD. Absolutely. Also, I was really into, I would say probably high school, chewing gum. Like I always had gum with me. And I always chewed it. Like, I don't even know how many in a day. Like so many in a day.
And you're allowed to chew gum at school?
I don't
Lucky.
remember.
Pretty sure I wasn't.
I must have. Like, I feel like I always had gum. I always had like I think it's called 5 gum, if I'm not mistaken, or something 5. It was in like the black package, and I had like the gum strip. I don't know. It was bomb. I remember chewing gum a lot to the point like my jaw hurt.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Like, you can like get yourself out of alignment that way.
Yeah.
Well, how much money did you spend on gum then?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Because the 5 gum, that's the upper tier of the gum.
I know.
It's like your allowance, man, must have been big time.
Exactly. But yeah, those are the few things I remember from young Sarah.
Going back to the boy band, which boy band was it though?
This might be a little controversial, but I liked NSYNC better than Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, same.
Yes, Queen. Yes.
I guess it just depends on who you're asking. NSYNC had a more R&B vibe, and that's more my genre. So, I mean, I can still sing along to any Backstreet Boy that you'll ever play. And I
went to their concert. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I liked NSYNC songs and music better.
It's gonna be me. Yeah, totally.
Exactly. Did I dance to all of them in my basement? Absolutely.
No,
and make
boy
a
bands.
choreography for them? Yep.
Picture who you're gonna marry.
Yeah.
Hopefully it wasn't Lance. It's disappointment. No. All the girls who like get shattered when they realize that like people cover, I'm gay. It's like, oh, damn.
Ah, rats. Exactly. What about young Krista?
Oh, well, I'm a little older than you, so my boy bands look different.
Or anything, anything.
For a period of time, I was like, I wouldn't say addicted, but I used to like be into Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah?
Yeah. Right? Like every day I would buy a pack of Jolly Ranchers.
Every day?
It's like school day, probably. I would buy one. It's like, I don't know why, but like the hardness of the candy, but the smooth texture, and just I was so into it. And then at the same time, around that same time, I think it would be like an obsession, probably not an addiction, was when they had first come out with the Hershey's Cookies and Cream Bar.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, all over that as well.
That's funny.
Yeah, those are the ones that stick out to me. Yeah, and I was addicted to working out towards the end of my high school years. Go to the gym every day.
Every day?
Every like school day. Like I would go to the community center after school, work out with
Good
the
for you.
boys.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, but I wasn't doing cardio, so I was just lifting weights. So it was like, I can bulk up pretty quickly. So I wasn't really like, looking like an Instagram model. I was more looking like a power lifter.
Oh my gosh. Well, good for you.
Yeah. So when I say exercise has always been a part of my life, it's true. Just not currently.
Just not currently. That's funny. No, I like exercise too. I always hated going to the gym. I always preferred like activities or like sports and like things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe we should flip to the more serious side of addictions.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to because it's dark, but I feel like to cover the diaspora.
Yeah.
One of the ones that's probably most prevalent for like young women is eating disorders. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna give a couple stats on that. Eating disorders affect approximately 9% of the global population, with anorexia nervosa having the highest mortality rate among mental illnesses. Interesting that they consider it a mental illness. I don't know when that became a classification. It makes me think of this particular YouTuber that always kind of pops up in my YouTube, Once in a Blue, and she's called Victoria Clooney or something like that, something along those lines. And she is deathly thin. Oh my God. Thin. Like it's you can't comprehend how she's still alive, and it's not like a CGI.
Yeah.
Studies indicate that up to 50% of individuals with eating disorders also struggle with substance abuse. So there is like a codependency or a relationship between the two, which is super interesting.
Yeah, I feel like back when I was in high school, I knew some people that were anorexic. What's the other one? Anorexic or
Bulimic.
Yeah, bulimic.
Or now I think they even include like severe exercise as one of them. I can't remember what they call it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I knew a girl in high school. Well, I knew two different girls. I knew definitely girls that were throwing up. Mm-hmm. And I definitely knew a girl who told me, she's like, oh, the best way to lose weight. She actually like gave me like a tip. She's like, oh, I just use laxatives. And that's one that's not really talked about.
Yikes.
Like, so you can't. Yeah, because I definitely, in my early 20s, definitely had an eating disorder that was, like, spawned from, like, exercise. And then calorie restriction. And then, like, what's the next thing to, like, get the weight down? And I could never do the throwing up thing. So I definitely abused laxatives in those early years as well. Jeez. Because you're just trying to fit this standard. And
Absolutely.
the standard of beauty back then was, like, thin, like, boyish frame, long, straight blonde hair. Mm-hmm. Like an ideal that wasn't realistic for most of us.
No. And it's funny because I look back at pictures of myself back in those days. Mm-hmm. And I remember in that moment, I'm like, oh my God, I feel so big. I feel so fat. But I look back at those pictures and I'm like, girl, you were skinny.
Yeah.
You're way bigger now.
But your eyes play tricks on you. Like,
yeah.
I've even realized about myself during certain times of the month that I will look at myself and I think I'm fat. And then a few days later, my hormones adjust and I'd be like, why did I think that?
It's not a fun game that we have to go through. And this might be a general statement, and I'm sorry if I offend anybody, but I feel like girls go through this a lot more than guys do. I don't think a lot of guys, at least that I know, think about that as much as girls do, females do.
I would say I don't know because I'm not a male, so I don't know what that experience is like. But there's obviously guys that are overweight and struggle because, you know, they have those kind of issues. And yeah, I don't know. I would say I don't know what the male experience is like.
When guys put on clothes, I just feel like they look at their muscles, be like, oh, how do my muscles look? But when girls put on clothes, we look at everything, every part of our body.
Yeah, true. But we're assuming that guys have muscles. And I don't think a lot of them do. So... so I think that there's challenges there. Like, based on what I'm seeing on the dating app, I'm like, none of them have any. And I'm not saying that they're fat, but I'm just saying that they're opposite, where I'm like, they're very thin. And I'm like, that's not attractive either.
Yeah. You briefly spoke about something when we were talking about the mild addictions. And I'm just trying to, it was before gambling. It was one before gambling, and now I'm trying to remember.
Technology, shopping, social media.
No. And you're like, yeah, maybe we'll talk about it later. Shoot.
It was eating disorders, though. It was eating disorders that we'll talk a little bit about because it related to working out too much, like exercise addiction. But then going back to the stat that the eating disorders are linked to drug abuse, I would say like probably how that evolves is like diet pills.
Yeah.
But then you run with certain crowds and you're like, well, here's cocaine. I've never tried cocaine, but apparently it also makes you thin. And then you find other ways to like suppress smoking. I was a smoker.
I was going to say smoking.
Suppresses your appetite. And then, weed is the opposite. So you don't want to do that. It makes you, it gives you the munchies. So it ties into like the bigger one is like drug addiction. Yeah. In the United States, around 21 million people suffer from at least one substance abuse disorder.
Wow.
The economic burden of drug addiction is estimated to exceed $740 billion annually in the U.S. due to healthcare costs, crime, and lost productivity, as per the National Institute on Drug Abuse.
Yikes.
Based on previous episodes, you know, the importance of having a good support network, but also recognizing when somebody's in need of treatment to get them to the professional that can give them the treatment, because you are probably not educated enough and have the requirements to be able to like actually deal with it.
Exactly. I
don't know if we want to end on like maybe a lighter note. Like,
I have something lighter.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the show My Strange Addiction on TLC?
Ooh, that's such a good ending for this podcast episode. I did. Now that is insane.
Insane.
Which one sticks out for you?
Oh my gosh. Like literally so many. It ran for 5 years on TLC if people don't know about it. I think it ran from 2010 to 2015. And it was crazy. I think there was an episode that an individual, a male, was in love with like pool inflatables.
Oh.
And yes, and his car. I think, did he marry his car? I don't know. And then another was addicted to eating dryer sheets.
Really?
Yep. Oh my God, there were so many. Another one was, I don't even remember, but I remember the show just being like insane.
The one that stays in my mind, permanently etched, lives in my head rent free, is the one where the woman would eat. Ooh, I think I can think of two more now that I said that. She'd eat the couch cushion. So, you know, when you have that foam underneath the thing, she would break it off and eat that.
Ew.
One other person I think was addicted to like that powder cleaner used for your bathroom. What's it called? Like Comet or whatever. I think she used to eat that. And then there's definitely somebody who would like eat dirty diapers. There's definitely somebody like that.
Ew. I literally can't.
Like, ugh.
Oh, I'm just looking it up right now. Someone was addicted to eating cat's fur.
Oh, I feel like I remember that one.
Someone was addicted to eating sand because they liked the crunch of it.
That person probably had low iron.
Right. Someone ate glass. Addicted to the smell of gasoline. Oh, yes. Someone who's addicted to dirty diapers.
Yeah, I tell no lies.
Yeah, a guy who got really personal and would addicted to inflatable animals.
I definitely remember the guy with his car. His car was a red car.
Yes, I remember that as well. So yeah, it was just, I thought it tied nicely with this episode because it was
Like,
crazy.
like those need medical intervention.
100%.
Like they're not that far off from that other show on A&E. Was it called Intervention?
Maybe.
That shows ran for like 20 years where people had like drug abuse, and it's like, how do you get them to stop? Like their behavior and their mindset is just like, I need to get that drug. It's like, I need to eat that piece of cushion.
It like I laugh, but like I don't mean to, because
Yeah.
something is wrong and they need to seek help immediately before their health declines rapidly.
Well, another addiction, which I didn't talk about, but now I think about it, is like hoarding.
Yeah.
And I definitely could see myself getting that way. My mom is definitely like a collector of items, and I know with my shopping addiction, that was the beginning of it, of like collecting things
Yeah.
and then not wanting to like give them away, where it's like, I might lose weight and wear this one day.
Okay, yeah. I would say for everything I can throw away, but for clothes, it's very hard for me because it's exactly the same
Yeah.
thing. I'm like, oh, I haven't worn that in 4 years. I may want to wear it.
And I'm definitely packing it for my vacation bag. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Along with my 1,700 pairs of underwear.
Exactly. 100%. Oh, that's too funny.
I just thought about that, how I have to like do like a closet clean, like I'm way overdue. But I'm just not. I'm like, I'm not, because if I lose weight, I want some of those clothes. So I'm going to wait.
Totally. Absolutely. Oh, that's too funny. Well, I think I wanted to end on a happy note of the TLC show. But so I think that's everything we wanted to chat about addictions. We wanted to focus obviously more on the lighter, funnier addictions, but also touch on the, harder addictions out there. Krista, is there anything else you want to add before we say goodbye?
I just want to add one to piggyback on what Sarah said. If anybody who has a serious addiction, seek help, seek treatment. Speak to your doctor, speak to your family and friends. It's very serious, and we take it very seriously. For our listeners, definitely rate and review us, and we want to hear your feedback. I know we haven't asked for it in a while, but it's important to know what you guys think about what we're talking about, and give us ideas for new topic ideas. And other than that, I get to see you again, Sarah, and we get to do this again very soon.
Can't wait.
Chat soon, girl.
Bye.
Bye.